you. We should have quorum. With myself here with me is Donnell.
Hey,
Uh, and so we should have four people. If we want to open up the meeting, Brianna, I guess I'd leave that to you.
Yep. So opening up the meeting for the Economic Development Commission, today is 11/25/2025, and it is 5:12 p.m.
All right. We'll just go over. So who's here today? It's obviously myself and Lauren, and then you, Harry, Tom, and Donnell. So if we have four people for our quorum. Okay. Let's write that down.
Correct.
So really our main topic on the agenda is just kind of a follow-up from our discussion at the last meeting with Main Street Live and the group, the Bell Forge Arts Center, taking over running that event. Last week we met as a steering committee, myself, Brianna, Donnell, and Beth, to kind of go over what the approach was with working with them and kind of how we'd like to kind of move that forward. I reached back out to them prior to their board of directors meeting, basically kind of where the steering committee felt, and I think by and large the consensus from everyone else is, hey, great, if they want to, it seems like a great group, seems like a lot of experience. If they want to take that on running the event, happy to kind of help support them, and I guess especially from a logistics from the first year standpoint. At our steering committee meeting, we did have a discussion on being an outside organization, what type of local or community benefit Bell Forge that they should kind of look into providing, if that's an option, or if we try to make some sort of connection between that organization and the town. Is there an opportunity there for whether it being, I think we talked about scholarship, or whether it be some sort of distinction that this is a new group. We want to make sure that they're being recognized as being part of the community, even though they're not located in Walpole. So we communicated that to Bell Forge, and really they were all kind of bought in. I don't have it as a handout, but just from my communications, it was Gene Monero and Paul Armstrong, who were both the I think one was the director, and then one's I think the art director. Really they're looking to put their budget together for entertainment by January. Their board of directors was all in favor. So probably within the next, I guess, month and a half or so, it might be helpful to invite them back for a discussion in December, as well as communicate. And Don, I know you and I talked about this, having some communication probably between the select board.
Yeah, I actually spoke to one of the selectmen and tried to run it by him just to make sure that he kind of couldn't speak for all the members, but kind of spoke that, what they've done in the past. The selectmen weren't opposed to it because, we didn't know how they would handle serving alcohol or letting someone outside of like the EDC serve alcohol in the common. They kind of indicated to me that they wouldn't have a problem with it as long as Walpole somehow benefited and it didn't cost Walpole a lot. We have to open up a dialogue with the selectmen and probably Jim Johnson as well, just so that we can get an idea of what the town's involvement is going to be via expense wise, I guess, in terms of DPW, police. I don't think fire had really any expense except for they attended some of the meetings just to make sure everything was going to go in the right direction. Police has an expense because they have a lot of overtime and cops there on bikes, as well as details manning the roadways. And then, of course, the other big expense is DPW, which DPW did a lot with setting up roadways and bringing us trash barrels and recycle barrels, as well as taking trash away at the end of the event, and then picking up some of the stuff that they dropped off before that. So that was some of the expenses that the town put in, and they kind of indicated to me that they feel like, not that they want to shut them out the first time, because I think there might be a little bit of an interest on their part of getting this thing back up and running. providing that the town benefits from it, not just in expense wise, but the town citizens somehow benefit from it, or the school department or somebody else benefits by it. But we also have to run by expenses and maybe have a game plan with them, that if they're gonna start running over, look at for year one, we might do this. And what are you interested in doing for the town? And then in year two, once you get up and running, they're gonna be covering, this expense and that expense. So it's some dialogue we have to have with the selectmen before we jump completely in with the organization that's gonna run it.
Is that something, we should have them at an EDC meeting, or should we have a subcommittee meeting again, similar to what we did with just a few of the selectmen, or is that, how do
No,
you think that should?
I think we should just contact the selectmen and have Patrick contact Jim Johnson, probably get it on the selectmen agenda, and maybe just have the subcommittee go in and meet with them and let them ask questions and kind of go through that, and probably not bad to invite them to it as well,
Yeah.
so they can have conversation as well and understand where it's all coming from.
Okay,
I'd say, I mean, it's hard to obviously tell by an email, and hearing back from Gene over at the Bell Forge Arts Center. It seems like they're looking for direction. They like the ideas. I mean, just vaguely in terms of like, hey, whether it's a scholarship that we talked about, or even going to Walpole Day, but they're in favor of doing something. They understand that. And I think they're not, they're not questioning it, but I think they're just looking for direction. And as Donald said too, I mean, we have bringing it in the select board in with that would help.
Define the conversation.
Define the conversation, but I think having some sort of set benchmarks prior to the end, at least January, I think would be good. And that being, what that expectation is on their end. And then, this is something that we talked about at the steering committee, and I haven't got an actual response from them either, but are they looking for any sort of funding? Are they looking for any sort of like starting amounts?
Yeah.
That really hasn't been set, determined, or even really asked. So it's kind of, if they're not going to ask, do we offer? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind of an odd position, but
I don't know at this point. Maybe it's a conversation we have after we have the selectmen, because if we don't give them startup seed money, which I don't really think we need to, that maybe if the town feels they want to cover expenses for the first year, that might be the avenue to go in. I don't know.
Yeah.
We should have more conversations with the selectmen. And then I'm also debating whether, we should be having these conversations with the selectmen ahead of meeting with them, but
Yeah.
we can do it either which way, whatever the board feels like is the appropriate avenue to go down.
yeah, I think there's two sides to that coin, but if they're looking to like kind of finalize their budgets in January, then maybe I do think it'd be appropriate to talk to the select board. Understand, I think we want to align with them before having that meeting, another meeting with Bell Forge, right? Because I don't think we
Yeah.
offer anything necessarily, but if they're looking for something from us, I think they would have brought that to our attention already. That's you don't
But
want to assume. But
I kind of agree with Brianna, but what I think we should do to expedite it is I think we should direct Patrick to send a memo into Jim so that we can get on the selectmen's next agenda.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, have an informal meeting with one or two or three of the selectmen, whatever they feel is the appropriate number.
Mhm.
And then that subcommittee for the selectmen, or whoever involved there, can go back to their committee and have discussion with the selectmen prior to us going on to the agenda,
Like the-
hopefully in December. Or
Yeah, I would say
the holiday's gonna be tough. It might be the beginning of January.
I think they're just meeting next week.
Really?
So if we have a steering committee meeting prior to, at some point in December, I think that'd probably be the best way of getting.
So what's next week? December 2nd, the selectmen's meeting?
Yeah. I'm
And they're
su-
not meeting again till January?
I'm
Does it
not
not
entirely
matter?
sure if they are. I think I talked to their admin today, and I wasn't sure if they were going to meet
Okay.
the rest of December.
Well, why
Is
don't
it
we
tip-
get that information, then go from there?
Yeah.
is it typically twice a month that they meet, or is it every other week?
It's typically twice a month, so yeah, every other week. But I think every board's kind of weird around the holidays, especially once you get in December. I don't typically meet the second meeting.
I mean, I'm around Monday to have a conversation with them, or even Tuesday morning before their meeting.
Yeah.
If we can get a memo to them tomorrow,
Mm.
when are you guys breaking at noontime tomorrow or full day tomorrow? Or if
I-
you can get something back from
Undetermined.
Jim,
Yeah.
see if we can meet on Monday or Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
With them. And I don't know if we'd be able to get,
So what would be the extent of the memo that I'm asking to
well,
provide?
I would just be to ask what their opinion is and what direction they would like to go in terms of the expenses the town is involved with and kind of figure out what we need to do with the outside organization for them to get going on it.
That
And then if we can have an informal meeting on Monday or Tuesday, oh shit, I'm not here.
I was gonna say I can't do Monday, but I could do Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not here Tuesday either. And I won't be back Tuesday night, I don't think.
I mean,
What
I still think we have enough. I'll see if they're meeting a second meeting in December, but even if
Mhm.
they're not, this week's kind of a wash. But if it's next week or the week after, just as a steering committee, that can be still had.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
without the full
without
selectmen
the full
board, yeah,
select-
why don't we do it that
Yeah.
way then? Why don't we plan on at least meeting with them sometime next week? With the selectmen informally or whatever members they want to put in there. And to get some direction on Main Street Live, possibility of having an outside organization run it. And then if we can get on the agenda for their next meeting. Hopefully they'll have another one.
Yeah, I could I think I could probably do Thursday for next week. Sorry, people are Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, rather than locking in a date, I guess I'd first try to.
Yeah,
Get
find
it
the
out to
available
Jim and
dates
see
and
their
take care of it
availability.
through email.
Yeah,
Okay.
But that's what, 1, 2, 3, I'm not around Thursday. I'm in town Thursday.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to apologize for coming in late.
no worries.
Okay.
I think we're actually kind of. I think we're
I've been listening. I've been here. I didn't get in
I
at
can
5
do
o'clock.
Friday the 5th or Wednesday,
Okay.
so. Whatever, we'll see
Yeah.
what availability they have as well.
No, of course. But really, so that's kind of it right now. So I think we're in a positive direction with Belforge and moving forward with them. Setting up that discussion with the select board will probably be our next focus in terms of that event. And then really from there, like I think we talked about just even like the permitting aspect is really not that difficult. I can take care of that for them. It's just, I guess, the logistics, and if they need any sort of local contacts,
Yep.
We can help with that here. But I guess that's where we are. That's really just kind of the update. Is I think it seems to be a positive direction that they had and positive discussion they had with their board of directors. They seem to be all in and trying to make it work. So that's good news for the event, and I think obviously and what we can do in the interim in terms of helping set it up. We'll take it from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
So that's all I got, really.
Look,
That's why it's a pretty brief meeting. If anyone has any questions, though, on that.
Just a quick one, maybe for my understanding, can you reiterate the aspect of the alcohol sales? It was kind of a little bit choppy through my audio there. There's either we predict there'll be some resistance to the town approving such a thing, or B, no, it should be no problem as long as we see some demonstrated benefit to the town, something like that. It was a little scratchy through that section. So you can repeat that part and then I'm
Yeah,
good.
Tom, Danell here. When I had my conversation with one of the selectmen, they didn't think it would be a problem. He kind of felt that that the board has always thought that event has been a good event and a
Mhm.
good event for the town as
Mhm.
well as a good event for EDC, but it was something that they would like to see carry on in the town just for the event itself and for for what it does for the town and
Yep.
for the businesses downtown. So they were in favor of it. They didn't seem to be having any problem as long as they abided by all the rules and regulations of serving liquor and getting, tip certified and all that, following through all that and more or less following everything that we had done, getting permitting for the food trucks, getting permitting for the event on the common and getting
Okay,
permitted for the road closures and stuff. They'd have to go
Yeah.
through all those things, but they didn't anticipate it as being bad.
yeah, okay, sounds like they're generally on board
Yes.
with it. Okay, all right, thanks.
Right.
For them?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah,
Can,
yeah.
can,
So,
we want to approve the minutes?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna, yeah, is there a motion to approve the minutes from
I'll make a
October?
motion to approve the minutes of October 21st, 2025.
I'll second.
Second by Beth.
Okay, it has been,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
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 The rank department updates.
I don't have any updates
Okay.
right now. Yep.
All right, everyone, have a good Thanksgiving.
Do I have to adjourn the
Adjourn?
meeting?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so
a motion
I'll
to adjourn.
accept a motion to adjourn. Somebody?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Motion.
Second by Danielle. All right,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Now we